crack an egg into a pan. It is a cold January morning. And somehow, that feels normal. But here is the strange part. That egg should make you wonder, why is it even there? Wild birds do not work this way. They do not lay eggs every day. They do not keep laying through winter. They do not produce hundreds of eggs like tiny breakfast machines. A robin waits, a sparrow waits, a cardinal waits. Almost every wild bird waits for spring. But a chicken does not. A chicken can keep laying in January. It can keep laying in July. It can keep laying in rain. It can keep laying in snow. And that is the mystery. By the end, you will understand why chickens broke an ancient bird rhythm. You will see how humans helped it happen. You will see how one tiny body change altered breakfast forever. Stay till the end. The last part will completely change how you think about this. Picture an early morning chicken coop. You open the little door, you look inside. There it is. One egg, maybe more than one. A healthy laying hen can produce close to 300 eggs a year. That is almost one egg every day. Now picture a forest in February. You search the trees. You check the bushes. You look for nests. You find nothing. No eggs, no chicks, no busy bird parents. Wild birds are not laying whenever they can. They are waiting for the right moment. Robins wait for spring. Finches wait for spring. Sparrows wait for spring. Cardinals wait for spring. Then they build a nest. Then they lay a small clutch, maybe 4 or 5 eggs. Then they stop. They do not keep laying all year. They do not keep going after the clutch is complete. They do not lay in winter just because a nest is empty. They get one narrow window, one season, one chance. So the question is hiding in plain sight. Chickens are birds too. They have the same basic reproductive system. They come from egg-laying ancestors. Birds have laid eggs for over 150 million years. So why does one bird lay almost constantly? Why do nearly all wild birds wait for spring? To understand that, we need the bird's internal switch. Egg laying is not random. It is controlled by a biological chain reaction. Scientists call it the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis. That sounds complicated, but the idea is simple. Light starts everything. Winter turns into spring. The days get longer. More daylight reaches the bird. Special receptors detect that light. In many birds, the eyes are not doing all the work. Light-sensitive structures sit deep in the brain. One key area is the hypothalamus. When the brain senses longer days, it sends a hormone signal. One important hormone is gonadotropin-releasing hormone. That signal wakes the reproductive system. The ovaries become active. Ovulation begins. Eggs can be made. So wild birds are reading time through sunlight. Their bodies use daylight like a calendar. And that calendar matters. If a bird lays too early, chicks may not find enough food. If a bird lays too late, winter may arrive too soon. So evolution built a careful switch. Long days turn it on. The end of breeding season turns it off. This system is called photoperiodism. It controls reproduction across much of the bird world. It helps make spring feel alive. Birds sing. Nests appear. Eggs hatch. Chicks begin calling. But now, return to the chicken coop. Chickens have the same system. They have the same hormone pathway. They have the same light-sensing biology. They still carry the machinery that tells other birds to wait for spring. Yet a hen with enough light can lay in December. She can lay almost as easily as she does in May. For a long time, people gave one simple answer: domestication. Humans bred chickens for thousands of years, so humans changed them. We selected hens that laid more eggs. We bred chickens to become better egg producers. And yes, that is true. But it is not the full answer. Selective breeding explains the result. It does not explain the inner mechanism. It does not tell us which switch changed. It does not show why the ancient seasonal rhythm became weaker. Farmers knew one clue long before modern genetics. Chickens are indeterminate layers. Most wild birds are determinate layers. That means they have a set clutch size. Once they lay that number, they stop. Even if eggs disappear, many wild birds do not keep laying forever. Chickens behave differently. Take an egg from a hen's nest. She does not treat the clutch as finished. Her body keeps trying to reach a target, but the target never arrives. Every removed egg keeps the cycle going. The hen keeps laying. It is like a biological loophole. Humans have used that loophole for a very long time, but this still does not solve the bigger puzzle. A normal wild bird switch should shut everything down in winter. Removed eggs should not matter. Short days should tell the bird to stop. So why does the switch fail? This is where the story gets stranger. In 2010, researchers compared chicken genomes. The team was led by geneticist Leif Andersson. They worked at Uppsala University in Sweden. They compared domestic chickens with red junglefowl. Red junglefowl are the wild ancestors of domestic chickens. They still live in Southeast Asian forests. They behave more like wild birds. They breed seasonally. They lay a small clutch. Then they stop. When researchers compared the genomes, one region stood out. It involved a gene called TSHR. TSHR means thyroid stimulating hormone receptor. This gene carried a similar mutation in nearly every domestic chicken breed. It appeared in egg-laying breeds. It appeared in meat breeds. It appeared in ornamental breeds. That matters. These breeds were selected for different reasons. Yet they shared the same genetic pattern. That suggests the change happened very early. It also suggests humans selected it strongly. TSHR is not just any gene. It sits near the center of the seasonal reproduction system. It helps the brain respond to changing daylight. It helps decide if reproduction turns on or off with the seasons. In wild birds, this keeps breeding tied to spring. In domestic chickens, the mutation weakens the seasonal shutoff. The light-sensing equipment is still there. The hormone pathway is still there. The ancient calendar has not fully vanished, but the stop command has grown weaker. The body no longer says spring is over with the same force. In many modern breeds, that command is almost gone. At first, this was only a strong clue. The mutation matched the trait. But matching is not the same as proof. Scientists needed more evidence. At the same time, chicken domestication was being re-examined. Older estimates suggested domestication happened around 8,000 years ago. Later, genetic dating pointed to a shorter timeline. In 2022, a team including Joris Peters and Gregor Larsen suggested a newer estimate. They argued red junglefowl were likely first domesticated in what is now Thailand. This may have happened around 3,500 years ago. They may not have been tamed first for meat or eggs. They may have moved toward human settlements because of rice farming. That makes the mutation even more surprising. If domestication was so recent, the change spread very fast. It reached chickens across the world. Later studies went beyond comparison. Researchers used controlled breeding. They also studied quail. Quail have a similar seasonal reproduction system. These studies tested the same receptor pathway. The results supported the idea. Changing this pathway can change response to day length. So TSHR was not just near the cause, it was part of the cause. a tiny hormone receptor change loosened the bond between chickens and seasons. Once that bond loosened, humans kept selecting the best layers. But the story gets even bigger. Chickens are not alone.